Our I-Team investigation found multiple cases of doctor deception, leaving behind a trail of victims who only decades later discovered what really happened.
How can somebody get away with this and there's no repercussions?
Carrie Lauterbach is a product of fertility fraud. She grew up knowing that her mother and father went to a fertility doctor in Cincinnati to get pregnant. Her parents were told the sperm donor was a medical student, and Carrie was told that she and her older sister had different biological fathers. But when Carrie and her sister used home DNA tests, they made a shocking discovery. They had the same biological father. Learning later that the fertility doctor in Cincinnati was the donor, not a medical student.
Because I'm an OB nurse, it was even more shocking and just absolutely unethical. And that's kind of where I landed, was so unethical. I can't believe somebody would do this.
Carrie's not alone. She says DNA testing shows a total of at least 7 children were born from the same doctor.
We just don't know how many other families that he could have done this to.
And Carrie learned there are other cases of fertility fraud nationwide. An Indianapolis doctor, Donald Klein, was accused of switching donor sperm using his own to produce more than 20 children. He was convicted of lying to investigators but received no jail time, leaving victims outraged.
He ruined all our lives.
I have set up numerous nights, especially with my sister here, crying.
I had to go home and tell my husband that he was not the father of my child.
And that case prompted Indiana to pass a new law making fertility fraud illegal, joining 4 other states with laws of their own on it.
We will see more and more cases.
Professor Jody Madeira of the Indiana University School of Law is one of the nation's top experts on fertility fraud. She says there's more cases than you might think.
My estimate at this point would be that we have 40 to 50 across the world. We have probably more that are concealed by non-disclosure agreements, and that affects, hundreds to thousands of doctor-conceived offspring.
Why would they do such a thing?
The technology has changed significantly.
We talked with Michelle McGowan, a PhD at the University of Cincinnati College of Medicine. She's an expert on medical ethics. There are a lot of theories. Maybe, she says, it was money, convenience, ego. She adds the doctors apparently thought they were giving patients what they wanted, a baby.
They see themselves as baby makers, as creators, and if they will do whatever it takes to bring home a baby.
In Carrie Lauterbach's case, we'll likely never know why her parents' fertility doctor did it. He died in 2008, long before any of the DNA testing was done. We even found his gravesite in Cincinnati. He was a very well-respected doctor. And believe it or not, at the national level and at the state level here in Ohio, there is no law that specifically says it's illegal for a doctor to do this. It leaves victims hurting.
They really feel like they're conceived through rape, born from rape. Their parents feel as if they were raped. This is a terrible experience. It's devastating for identity. It's devastating for family relationships.
In Carrie's case, she just wants to make sure other people are not victimized. So she's backing a plan from a Miami Valley state lawmaker to make fertility fraud illegal.
I think it's 1 in every 10 women suffer from infertility. And so this isn't an issue that's just affecting some people. It's on the rise here in the United States. And so when we take a look at this, we have to say, how can we protect families, individuals, women holistically when it comes to one of the most personal decisions that they will make, whether they start a family or not, and how they go about doing so.
A U.S. Health and Human Services study found 500,000 women a year use a donated sperm to get pregnant. Powell's bill would make it illegal for a doctor to knowingly switch sperm donors and use their own. Although there's some debate on whether Ohio needs a special law to cover this. Michelle McGowan, the medical ethics expert, says the state medical board has strict standards that are enough regulation. The Code of Conduct of the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists does not specifically ban the use of doctor-donated sperm, but states the physician-patient relationship is based on transparency, trust, and honesty.
But I think there are other mechanisms that already exist through existing professional codes of conduct.
Although Representative Powell disagrees.
Laws are in place with the state government that will protect her child, and protect her family in the long run.
For Carrie Lauterbach, it's something that must be done. She doesn't want anyone to experience what her family's gone through. So she's anxious to help Powell and other lawmakers get a tough law passed to protect people.
My hope is that we can help families now and in the future and hold doctors accountable.
As state lawmakers debate the penalties for this, the search continues for other people who may not know that they were victims of fertility fraud. For the I-Team, Jim Oddie, News Center 7.